Traveling to Consciousness, exploring spiritual journeys to find answers in uncertainty.
What is up, conscious monkeys? Welcome back to another episode of Traveling to Consciousness. As always, I'm your host, Clayton Cuteri, and in today's podcast, we have a Thanksgiving special. So first of all, happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to your friends and family. And quite frankly, I feel like at this point, we're a family too, at some level, some spiritual, energetic level. You and I are family members as well. Maybe you're a brother, maybe you're a sister, maybe you're a cousin and aunt, but there's a connection here if you're listening to this podcast. And so I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to you. And I think it's good to remember why we have Thanksgiving, because especially in a time of political correctness, Thanksgiving is meant to honor the harvest, honor food, honor celebration, and to give thanks for the food, the loved ones that we have in our lives, especially whenever we're living in a time right now that is extremely, extremely divisive. So give thanks. I know sometimes there might be political conversations that will come up at dinner, whatever it is, but just remember, always try to bring it back to the common goal. We all have the same common goal of wanting world peace, of happiness, and maybe that's even a good place to start. Maybe there are people who don't want that, but at least start there. Make sure we have the same bedrock foundation of where we want to emerge from, because a lot of us just assume that everybody else wants world peace. And I don't think that we should assume that. I don't think that's an assumption that we should make. I mean, we should never assume, right? If you've ever heard the saying, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. So let's not assume. Instead, start with the foundation. Hey, do we agree that we want peace in the world? Do we agree that we all want everyone to be rich, everyone to be wealthy, because that is possible? Do we agree that we want to have a beautiful city, a beautiful country, a beautiful infrastructure? Do we agree on that? Do we agree that we want to save lives? Do we agree that we want world peace? Start there, because I think people get into the weeds a little too much without realizing that we're all coming from, hopefully, the same place. So start there, because it'll cool off any energies, especially if someone else brings it up. Just try to restart the conversation. It's a good little mental hack. There is something that's been on my mind in regards to Thanksgiving, because I think that it's been starting to get warped a little bit, and maybe it's just my perception, in regard to colonialism and the Native Americans. But before we get into that, I do want to put in a little message here from kind of like a pseudo sponsor, if you will. I don't know how to exactly describe it. But in case you guys didn't know, because I haven't done this in a while, anytime a company just wants to send me product, I'll make a comment on it. I'll tell you guys about it on my podcast. And so a company who has reached out before, reached out again, and actually decided to send stuff. So the company's name is Magic Mind. They reached out maybe about a year ago, and I told them, hey, never used your product. Not going to promote something if I don't use it or don't try it. So please let me know, send it over and I'll try it out and we'll see what happens. So they sent it over and it looks beautiful. I'll be honest, packaging and branding is like a 10 out of 10. I gotta be honest here. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And it was like a sample pack. So they sent me, I think, a 5-pack. It looks like a 5-pack of these little mini drinks. It's about 2 fluid ounces. It's exactly 2 fluid ounces. And it's got a bunch of different things within it. The magic formula is what they call it. They have things like lion's mane, a bunch of words that I don't know exactly how to pronounce. They have turmeric in it. They have some matcha. And the whole thing is for mental performance, less stress, calm energy, and for vitality. So a lot of vitamins. Now, I want to be very clear right now that, they have not paid me anything. They just sent out this product. They wanted me to test it. They wanted to see how it would go. So I did try it. Now, there is 55 milligrams of caffeine in it. And so for me, I never drink any coffee. I basically never do caffeine. The last time I did caffeine actually was whenever I was in Disney, and gave me crippling anxiety on top of eating a ton of sugar and not being healthy. But this actually looks like it has pretty solid ingredients, pretty solid ingredient list. And, you know, it tasted kind of good, I guess. Maybe not the best in the world, but I think when you have these drinks in these little shot formats, it gets interesting. In regards to, like, I don't know that making it taste good is like a part of it. Like, they kind of like need this like little sting to it. If you've ever had one of these drinks before. But where I am getting at, what am I getting at with this? Yeah, I tried it. Didn't really notice anything. I don't think it's a very fair time to try it, if I'm being honest, just because with the holidays coming up, my schedule wasn't exactly the same, so I can't give it a fair assessment. But I'll try a couple more. I'll let you guys know how it goes, and keep you guys in the loop with that. So yeah, if you have a brand or a product and you want me to talk about it, feel free to just send me it. Shoot me an email, support@travelingtoconsciousness.com. Let me know about your brand. We'll see if we can at least just test it out. And then if we like it, we'll do something long term. So yeah, so with Magic Mind, they had reached out. I asked them like if they could just send a sample. They said no. I was like, cool, whatever. In the future, if you do it, let me know. And so then here we are. It's the future. And they decided to finally, you know, send a sample. So I tried it and I think it's pretty good. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not endorsing it yet. You know, when it comes to caffeine, I'm a little hesitant just because I'm not too sure. Like, the idea is to become calm, right? And it talks about that on here, right? For feeling calm. So I don't know that I would want the matcha in it. I think that's something that we could probably take out, but maybe that's what gives it the energy. Well, it definitely gives it quote unquote energy. But I don't know. I didn't really notice anything too good or too bad with it. So maybe I'll have to try it in a time whenever I'm feeling a little sluggish. But I at least wanted to give them a little shout out, at least, because they did send me their product. They did not know that I was going to be talking about it on the podcast, but here we are. And so, talking about things that, well, might raise our stress a little bit. It's regards to, let's say, colonization and the Native Americans, Indians, if you will. Because, and I had a conversation, this is something that I definitely need to flush out more. Okay, so by no means do I want to say that this is my official position, but I think it's something that will probably be a future dialogue in our country. I mean, it is already, but we need to have a little bit more of a mature conversation around it. Because I think a lot of the, let's say, people who want to rewrite history will come in and with this conversation and basically just say, hey, yeah, the British came and basically killed all the Indians, took their land, and just said, hallelujah, this is ours now. And I think that it's important to note that that's a gross oversimplification and also an inaccurate simplification of what happened. Because at a high level, we have to realize that the Native American, the Indian tribes, were not unified whatsoever. It's not like America, or at least the United States as we know it today, was a unified like a unified area of Native Americans. They were tribes. They were all individualized tribes that were at war with each other, essentially. And they had their own land. If you crossed the land, they would kill people in very treacherous ways. Like, we're talking like skinning heads. Very brutal, very brutal. And now they were in touch with the land. And so it's a very interesting catch-22 that we run into with them. But the most important thing that I think we have to come to realize about the whole situation is that they were all humans. It's the age-old story of humans killing humans. Just based on where you're from, maybe different culture, different whatever. And I think that needs to be a bigger part of the conversation of it's just another instance. And I don't want to say that in like kind of like a mean or derogatory way, but it's just another instance of humans killing other humans. And the British definitely played maybe the middleman. I mean, you know, I'd have to do a lot more personal research on the topic to give a more accurate opinion on it. But high level, I think we need to appreciate it for what it is another form of barbarism, if you will. And I think that at some level, the United States still engages in that today. At some level, we are still pitting people against each other in foreign countries, supplying weapons to both sides, if you will, which you can see plain and obvious if you ever remember the Fast and Furious issue with, I believe it was Eric Holder in the Obama administration, where they were giving guns to the Mexican cartel. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of how deep all of this goes. How about Afghanistan, where we left $80 billion worth of military equipment for forget the terrorist organization off the top of my head, because it keeps changing over there so quickly. But the terrorist organization over in Afghanistan, just left it to them. Now it's back in their control. So I think it's important to note in regards to this conversation that it's not the first time, and that pitting the Native Americans against each other in order to take their land. I don't even say take their land. I guess because theirs becomes inclusive of every single one of all of them. But I guess that was the end goal, right? So take their land. And then, well, you see how it turned out. So I think at some level we still do that today. And I think that we have to acknowledge that it's humans killing humans. It's, speaking of brothers and sisters, speaking of our family, it's our brothers and sisters that are being killed. It's not theirs. And so we have to stop it. We need leaders who are going to be that force for peace, for harmony. And, again, I don't know if political leaders don't truly care for that. Part of me doesn't think they do, with the amount of money that they send, the billions of dollars of our money that they send to destroy people in the Middle East, to kill people, to kill innocent people in the Middle East, and even Eastern Europe now. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they'll throw their hands up and say that, oh, this is the only way to create peace. And it's like, well, we've been trying that for, at least my entire lifetime. We've been trying that at least my entire lifetime, and it hasn't worked. So why do we think we should keep going that direction? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So they're either insane or it's a part of their plan. I guess they're either insane, they're unintelligent, or it's a part of their plan. And to me, it doesn't matter which of those three it is, because of the outcome. So I think that it would do us very good, first of all, if you want to join the American Congress Party, reach out, shoot me an email, Clayton@AmericanCongressParty.com. And let's see how you can support. Let's see how you can support the mission. Because we do need people. People like you. People who want peace on earth. People who want a better world. So please reach out. The world, your life will be better for it, I can guarantee you. And I think outside of that, I'm noticing that my time is running close because I have engagement to get to, which is that every Wednesday night at 8 p.m., I will be going live and giving you guys knowledge on Instagram, on TikTok. Well, no, it'll be on Instagram at Clayton Cuteri. So go check out the knowledge. It'll be more indigo, it'll be more spiritual education, knowledge that I'm using throughout my life, and all of it with the intent to get you guys to meditate. I'll teach you guys some cool meditation techniques. I'll tell you where you can find them. You can actually probably find them in the link below, the 999 meditation challenge. And I'm actually working on a meditation that's going to be even more powerful, bring peace even more quickly. So hopefully I will see you next Wednesday night on my Instagram. You can shoot questions. You can ask me then. Hopefully I'll see you on the email list. But if I do not see you there, then I will for sure see you in the 6th dimension.